You can't really say it's impossible. There are far more ways out of a regular job than you think. When many people hear not working, the image that pops into their head is collapsing on the bed watching videos, takeout boxes piled high, bank balance shrinking day by day, and then sheepishly going back to submit resumes. That stereotype is so ingrained that even we subconsciously doubt whether you can really live without a job. But have you considered that we tie working to surviving because nobody taught us otherwise growing up? The second way of living, study hard, get into a good university, find a stable job, get promoted and a raise, retire comfortably, looks safe, but it hides risks even greater than freelancing. Big companies lay people off, industries disappear, relationships can cost you your livelihood. The skill you're proud of today may be worthless next year. You think you're standing on shore. In fact, you may just be on a ship that looks big. When the ship goes down, it's not up to you to decide. So not working a regular job isn't avoidance. It's an active form of risk hedging. It doesn't mean doing nothing. It means creating value in a different way and living at a different pace. If you've ever had the thought of not wanting to go to work, the points below are worth reading closely. First, give yourself a buffer period, but don't treat the buffer as the destination. Not working a job isn't the same as not working at all, and it's certainly not complete slacking off. Allow yourself to stop for a month, 2 months, even 3, to sleep, travel, daydream, and re-experience life. That time is not wasted. It's you stepping out a high-speed machine to regain your senses. But after the buffer period, you still have to face making a living. Unless you've already saved enough for the rest of your life, you'll still need income. The difference is this income isn't traded for time in the same way. It's exchanged for your skills, interests, and the value you create. Many people get stuck here because they assume not working means never having to struggle again. That's wrong. Not working a job can still be hard, but it's hardship you choose. You'll stay up late for it, revise it over and over, endure the quiet early months, because you know every bit of accumulation grows on you, not as a brick for your boss's luxury car. Second, passion is the fuel, but it doesn't fall from the sky. You need to find what you like doing and turn it into your work. That sounds like platitude, but look at people who truly don't do regular jobs and live well. Freelance photographers, indie developers, craft bloggers, on-site consultants, creators of paid knowledge products. Almost all of them have found a direction they love. Why is passion so important? Because in areas you're interested in, you naturally have motivation. 2 hours of work for you can feel like enjoyment while it's a chore for someone else. You'll get ideas in the shower, get up in the middle of the night to jot down inspiration, and when others say they're tired, you want to do one more run. That difference is what creates distance between you and them. If after quitting you still do things that make you miserable, you've only moved to a different place to continue suffering. Things without support can only be propped up with willpower for so long. They won't last. How to find your passion. A clumsy but effective method is to look back at what you spent most of your free time on in the past 3 months. Write down the things you do even if nobody paid you, the things that you find interesting even if you're not good at them. Try them one by one. Trial and error is not wasting time. It's the process of elimination, and what remains at the end is the answer. Third, be willing to start from zero. Because the world is essentially a big makeshift troupe. Be prepared to begin from scratch. The things that make your heart race are very likely unrelated to your major or even the job you've done for 10 years. You want to make handmade leather goods, but you work in engineering. You want to write novels, but you're always out doing sales. You like making videos, but you studied accounting. That sense of misalignment can make you uneasy, even make you think, I'm already in my 30s, isn't it too late to start over? But you need to understand one thing. The vast majority of people are just going through the motions at work. Very few are willing to truly focus and hone a skill. If you're willing to put in a solid year, 2 hours a day, you can surpass 90% of people, especially since it's something you enjoy. Starting from zero isn't scary. What's scary is not being able to take the first step. You think everyone else is already running, but most people haven't even stood at the starting line. If you just step onto it, you've already won half the battle. Fourth, accept uncertainty. Because certainty itself is the biggest illusion. If you stop working for someone else, You will face a bunch of practical problems. How to pay social insurance and housing fund. Will your income be there this month, but gone next month? Will you be able to make money doing what you love? Will your parents think you're crazy? Will friends gossip about you behind your back? Each of these questions is real and must be taken seriously. But if you don't want to be trapped for life in a concrete cubicle, facing annoying people and things day after day, you must accept these uncertainties and flip it around. Is working for a company truly certain? Won't companies lay people off? Won't industries decline? Won't your position be optimized away one day? The so-called iron rice bowl you believe in today may shatter tomorrow. True certainty has never come from the platform you depend on. It comes from your ability to create value yourself. When you have the skill to survive without any platform, then you're truly stable. So don't try to wait until everything is perfect before you start. You will never reach that day. You can only turn yourself into something reliable, bit by bit, amid uncertainty. Fifth, slow is fast. Allow yourself to take detours. A common mistake people make after leaving a job is being too impatient. Impatient for results, impatient to make money, impatient to prove they chose right. The more impatient you are, the more your actions get distorted, and the more likely you are to give up. Those who survive through freelancing or entrepreneurship almost always go through a period of being ignored. You might post content for half a year and still have few viewers. You might try many directions and find they don't work. You might invest a lot of time and energy and see no returns for a long time. But these aren't failures. They're necessary stages on the way to your goal. Every trial and error helps you filter out paths that don't suit you, leaving the one that does. So give this path more patience and give yourself more forgiveness. No one demands you succeed within a year. You can give yourself 3 years to take it slow. Slow is fast because when each step is solid, you won't have to go back later to make up for it. Of course, you don't need to quit impulsively. A safer transition is to slowly develop what you love into a side hustle during your spare time. Get up an hour earlier each day, or cut 2 hours of mindless phone time at night, and use that time to learn skills, create work, and publish content. This keeps your current safety while giving you space to try and err. The cost is sacrificing some rest and entertainment time, but replacing time spent zoning out, worrying, or mindlessly scrolling with time spent paving another path for yourself is never a bad investment. In the end, the options for not working a regular job are far more numerous than you think. Many people are discouraged from the start by the what if it fails question. Pessimists always find reasons not to act. I lack talent, I'm too old, I don't have connections. Optimists, even if they move more slowly, keep moving forward. Thinking too much only produces problems. Doing creates answers. You don't have to quit your job all at once, and you don't have to force yourself to succeed immediately. You only need to turn off your phone one weekend afternoon, sit quietly for a while, and honestly ask yourself, if I didn't have to worry about money, what would I most want to do? The moment that answer surfaces is when the gears of your destiny begin to turn. Even if they turn slowly, even if they get stuck along the way, even if they look different from others, it doesn't matter. Those are your gears, not parts from an assembly line. Take the brave first step and give yourself a chance. You'll find that the road off the clock is much wider and far more fascinating than the one-way street of going to work.